Yes, yes, yes. Welcome to another edition of Go Long Live. I'm your host, Barry Long, the second, not the first, not the third. I am the second. We are live on CoachellaValley.com. We are live on today'scalifornia.com. We are live all over the universe, all over the metaverse. We are live all over the Twitterverse. And as he is each and every single day, my main man, Mo Murphy. What's going on, boss? How you doing today?
I'm all good, bro. What about you, bro?
You're not good, bro. Just let them know you're not good, bro, because Ohio State got beat by Michigan, and this is the first time in the the Jim Harbaugh era. I said John Harbaugh because I am a Ravens fan, and I'm still happy about my Ravens winning that game. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Lincoln Riley getting to USC and just leaving them up and running. We got Spencer Rattler, who just entered the transfer portal. We got a lot of NFL games that happened. The Rams-Packers game was a big one. But first and foremost, let's just get this out the way. Mo Murphy, how was your Thanksgiving without turkey?
Bro, it was fine. I've constantly told you that. Stop throwing that out there. I don't stop like you keep throwing that out there like it's gonna change. My thing minus the turkey was fine. The ham was amazing.
Thanksgiving starts with a T because turkey starts with a T. Thanksgiving has an H after the T. That's the ham. But all right. So before we get into these games, we like to start off and have a little bit of fun on the show. I saw this video that just surfaced all over Twitter, all over. It went viral. We talked about the guy who was the Cowboys fan and went crazy on his family. Told his sister that her macaroni cheese sucked. Told his cousin that the turkey wasn't done. But after the Cowboys lost, there was a fight at AT&T Stadium, and it was between women Cowboys fans. And I'm gonna show you all the fight. It's quick, but it is just ratchet as I don't know. Excuse. First of all, I saw a few fake jerseys and just a lot of ratchetness. And it is ridiculous that people get so passionate about their teams. I'm passionate about my team, but nobody's more passionate than this guy.
Calm down. Man, you been talking smack to me all game, man. What time you been in my face, man? Now you gonna be in my face, bro?
This is on Thanksgiving.
Of course, it's a game.
This is Thanksgiving.
It's serious, Joe. It's very serious. You're right. Your boys got whooped. You ain't doing no Ravens fan. Your boys got whooped. You got to calm down. You ain't doing no Ravens fan. You getting in my purpose.
Stop.
They ain't done yet.
You need to stop.
Joe, this your Thanksgiving right here. Right there.
You need to
You
stop.
been ragging me all game, man.
This don't make sense.
Stop walking up on me, bro.
This don't make no sense.
Stop walking up on me, bro. You look smooth up on me.
Then they just standing there.
What smooth?
Calm down.
Stop.
They lost. It's Thanksgiving.
Bro, I don't care about no Thanksgiving and that food was nasty.
And the baby sleep.
Your macaroni is disgusting, Maya.
Baby is sleep.
Your macaroni is disgusting, Maya.
I thought it was
pretty good.
And your turkey wasn't done.
So, cause the Cowboys
Stick to
lost.
doing hair.
Cause the boys lost.
Stick to doing hair.
Now you want to go out.
I will put him out.
You ain't got to put me out. I'm trying to get up out of here.
The door right there.
They need to fire that damn defensive coordinator.
You got to find you a ride.
What you playing softball game for, man?
You got to find you a ride.
But you ain't gonna take me home.
No, they ain't taking you home. Did you hear the dude in the background when he said your turkey wasn't done? He said, I thought it was pretty good. That's what you're gonna say about my turkey, Mo Murphy. That's what you're gonna say about my turkey. But look, all right, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Ohio State is your team. You're an Ohio State fan, and Michigan has been losing to Ohio State every single year during the Jim Harbaugh era. They finally have got that monkey off their back, and they defeated the Ohio State Buckeyes. How did you feel as a fan, as an Ohio State fan, watching that game and watching your boys lose?
I'm still recovering from it. Like, I don't, and everybody, like, you don't see, because when you're not a real fan of a real team, you don't understand, like, when you so used to winning, when you so used to this, like, not only does the rivalry Michigan beat you, but Michigan ended your season. Like, we don't play for New Year's bowl games. We don't play for that. We play for playoffs. We play for championships. Very few teams can say that they've been there and understand where they're coming from. You're not named Alabama or Clemson or Ohio State. Like, you don't know what it's like to consistently play for championships, consistently be in the playoffs. So, you know, that's what hurt is, like, not only did Michigan beat us, but they ended our season. So, like, essentially you lose and your season's over. So that was the toughest part. And it's still, like, getting over it. Like, you know, Ohio State will not play on Saturday until next year.
And that is a hard pill to swallow. But what I took away from that game was that Jim Harbaugh, as successful as he's been as the head coach of Michigan, that's that one thing that you cannot be the head coach of Michigan and not beat Ohio State. You cannot be the head coach of Ohio State and not beat Michigan. It is a serious rivalry. And I just felt like Kevin Garnett should have came out of Jim Harbaugh. Anything is possible. Because ultimately, when we saw what Michigan and Michigan State game looked like, and then we saw what Michigan State looked like against Ohio State, it was an anomaly. Like, Michigan was going to lose to Ohio State, and it was just going to be like every single year during the Jim Harbaugh era.
That's why y'all got to stop doing that. Y'all be doing that because this team beat another team by this much. That mean they ain't got no chance against that team. Y'all be doing that because y'all don't be understanding that the matchups. Michigan State was a bad matchup for Ohio, or Ohio State was a bad matchup for Michigan State because they had the worst secondary in college football. And that's
not only the matchups. These are college kids. They're dealing with a lot of stuff. They're dealing with just random day life. They're dealing with exams. They're dealing with their roommates. They're dealing with girlfriends.
Ain't nobody paying attention. There ain't no excuse to not show up on Saturday. Nobody
were you as solid in the head as you are right now when you were 18, 19 years old?
That's not the point.
That's my point.
I played college ball though. I understood that. Didn't nobody care about your girlfriend breaking up with you? Like, you better
come. But you did.
You're not supposed to. Nobody. Those athletes are not supposed. Like, everyday life happens, death happens. I'm not saying, but like the distractions of a roommate not cleaning up after themselves, your girlfriend, and you on bad terms. Like, those are not things that need to weigh on how you perform on a Saturday.
I've lost friends over a pack of ballpark bun-linked hot dogs, and they weren't even beef. It is serious. That happens in college. In college, you're not as mature. You don't know how to compartmentalize.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. When you're an athlete, you know, like, because you compartmentalize as an athlete your whole life. Like, you know that their outside life should, for the most part, should have no barring on how you perform on the court. Like, and it doesn't. For the most part, it really doesn't. And if you a true athlete and you a true baller, like, it really doesn't. Outside of tragedy, bro, your girl, all that little, put a Band-Aid on stuff. That stuff don't bother you, bro. My bad.
We are going on live. We're going on live. We are live on CoachellaValley.com. We're live on Today'sCalifornia.com. We are live all over the universe, all over the metaverse. Shout out to the universe. I've had some great things happening this week, and I had a long weekend. I worked a double yesterday, and it was good. But look, first of all, before we get into this Lincoln Riley story, I want to say shout out to DJ Smoke One for the Hella Dirty Grind shirt, for the Hella Dirty Grind hat. And I want to shout out Lee Elder, who was the first black golfer to appear in the Masters, and he paved the way for Tiger Woods and other guys who aren't black, who just don't fit the bill of the typical golfer like DeChambeau, and he just changed the game. So he died today, and we just want to send our condolences out to his family, but we want to send our congratulations out to Lincoln freaking Riley. Lincoln Riley is now the head coach of USC. And yes, he did lose to Oklahoma State. He was the head coach of Oklahoma. He lost to Oklahoma State. But what he was able to do was he was able to turn a $150,000 a year salary into a $7 million a year salary. And the terms haven't come out on his contract with USC. But my man left with a quickness. We know he's going to get paid. He was one of the top candidates for NFL head coaching jobs, offensive coordinator roles, and all college jobs because of what he was able to do with these quarterbacks that have left their other teams. And we saw them all become Heisman Trophy candidates. 2 of them became Heisman Trophy winners. And promptly, as soon as he accepts the job, his quarterback of Oklahoma, Spencer Rattler, enters the transfer portal. Where do you think Spencer Rattler's going? He's from Phoenix. He's coming out. He's following his head coach. How do you feel about Lincoln Riley?
He's going to
Oklahoma.
State. He's going to Arizona State. Spencer Rattler's going to Arizona State.
Herm Edwards. That's
Yeah, he's going to Arizona State. It's already out there.
Okay,
He's
okay.
going to Arizona State.
okay.
It's Caleb Williams that you got to worry about who's going to transfer with Lincoln Riley. That's who's going to be on the market. And all the flips from Oklahoma to projected, they've all decommitted. They haven't committed to USC yet, but let's just be honest. Like, kids don't commit to universities. They commit to coaches, they commit to systems, and they commit to success. That's what they commit to. They really don't care nothing about the university if you think about it. Like, nobody cares about going to Alabama if it's not a prominent Nick Saban coach in there. Like, it's kids do not commit to universities. So all these universities be mad and be like, well, the legacy that we have, the history and tradition, kids don't commit to tradition. Like,
what do they commit to, in your opinion?
Coaches. Systems in the
So
NFL.
he's following his coach. I know the rumors are out there.
Spencer Rattler's going to Arizona State.
But look, you just watch. You just watch. My bold prediction is that
he got benched. He's not even Lincoln Riley's quarterback anymore. Lincoln
you
Riley
watch.
is Caleb Williams. He's going to Arizona State. Rattler's going to Arizona State. Caleb Williams going to follow Lincoln Riley to Oklahoma. I mean, to USC.
And he'll be the backup to Spencer Rattler. That's my opinion. He's going to.
Have you watched college football this year?
I watched it, and Lincoln Riley couldn't figure out who was going to be his quarterback. He was all over the place. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you right now, it's something about that West Coast. It's something about that West Coast air, and I believe that he will eventually end up as Lincoln Riley's quarterback at
Spencer
USC.
Rattler is going.
Rattler. Shout out to Spencer Rattler.
Are you serious? Spencer Rattler got benched by Lincoln Riley, and you were going to tell me that he's going to follow Lincoln Riley to USC. That is your prediction.
Yes, I'm telling you that right now. Look, Jalen Hurts got benched and then went to Lincoln Riley.
He left. He didn't follow Lincoln Riley. He went.
He came to Lincoln Riley, and
he didn't get benched by Lincoln Riley. It's a difference.
All right, we'll see. You want to put a bet on it? Let's put a turkey on it because you don't like turkey.
Turkey. So why would I bet something? What does that
That's
mean?
what a bet is doing something you don't want to do if you lose.
So what am I doing? I'm eating a turkey.
Yeah, you're gonna eat my turkey.
I'll eat your turkey. Oh,
Pause.
But so then when Spencer Rattler doesn't go to USC and he goes to Arizona State or anywhere else other than USC, then what's in it for me? Like what do you have to do?
I mean, you tell me.
We'll make a bet.
We'll figure it out off the air. I
want to ask you something because if you say a certain thing, it's not about you. It just, you might answer this question the way I want you to, and then I'm gonna go in.
So been asking me. Stop setting it up.
How do you feel about Lincoln Riley going to USC, knowing that Oklahoma's going to the SEC, knowing that he was a candidate for the LSU? He was possibly, they were all in at one point on LSU. So how do you feel about Lincoln Riley dipping and going to the Pac-12 instead of essentially continuing his legacy at Oklahoma in the SEC, or going to LSU as the head coach of the SEC?
What I feel is that every college coach is always trying to get to that next level. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you're the head coach of UNC football, you're trying to get you're trying to get up higher, and every single coach is always on that transfer portal, just like some of these quarterbacks and some of these college players are. So I don't fault Lincoln Riley for leaving, and USC is a more prominent job in my opinion than Oklahoma is. Bob Stoops made it prominent, but let's be real. He's going to be able to recruit way more people in that big state of California, and this big state of California, and it's going to be more glamour. And I think that he's going to be just as successful as he was in Oklahoma, in USC. And you mark my words. Lincoln Riley is the truth. Lincoln Riley turned Jalen Hurts got benched. He turned him into a Heisman Trophy candidate, which was ridiculous. And I said that when I was on a different sports show out here in Palm Springs. I said as soon as he committed, as soon as he entered the transfer portal and the rumors were out there before he committed to Oklahoma, I said he will be a Heisman Trophy winner. I said no, he'll be a candidate, and he was a candidate. Baker Mayfield left Texas Tech, was another man's trash, but he was Lincoln Riley's treasure. The same thing with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray was at Texas A&M, and they couldn't figure out what to do with him. So I'm telling you right now, Lincoln Riley knows how to get the most out of these quarterbacks. And if he went to the Browns, he would get the most out of Baker Mayfield when he's healthy. Because that's what Lincoln Riley does.
Woo-wee! Boy, you is a buyer, ain't you? Because he won what?
Man,
What did
look,
he win? What did he win?
he hasn't won championships yet, but he's won a lot of games. And
What
those
has he
Heisman,
won? Answer is nothing. Like he's won nothing. Essentially, right? Like he's a great offensive guy. I get it. He's also been
can't recruit. You can't recruit in Oklahoma the way you can recruit. Even at Florida State, you can recruit better than you can at Oklahoma.
What? Do you see who just decommitted from Oklahoma because Lincoln Riley left? Lincoln Riley can recruit for Oklahoma. He just had a 5-star, one of the 3 best quarterbacks who decommitted. All those 5-star running back, the number 1 wide receiver, number 3 player.
Did they commit to Oklahoma or did they commit to Lincoln Riley?
They committed to Lincoln Riley. Like I said. So, no, you're proving my point. You can't say thank you. You said that. I said
you're making me mad today. You're making me mad.
No, because Lincoln Riley does make, you say like he's going to make USC any more prominent. I don't think so. Like, they'll be really good.
USC is not a prominent job right now because they haven't had a good coach since Pete Carroll. But USC is just I'm out here in Southern California. USC is everybody's team. People don't even like UCLA the way they like USC, even when USC is bad.
I get it, but that means nothing. I was out there in Southern California. I know what it's like. Yeah, USC, y'all done adapted to losing at this point. Y'all ain't won
just for the record, I'm not a USC fan. I'm from Virginia. I'm a Virginia Tech fan.
They've all adapted to losing since 04. They hold on to the glory days of the early 2000s, which was cut off in 04 and before that. Well, what we did in the 80s and 90s, they hold off of the NFL talent they used to put in there because they don't put that much in there anymore. There's a couple guys in there now, but they of what they used to put in there. Yeah, they got Troy Polamalu. They live off of what they used to.
What do you mean? Yeah, they got Troy Polamalu. They've had top talent come out of the USC.
When like
Keyshawn Johnson.
Look at the quarter. 20 keep it that like in the past 10 years. Name me the prominent guys coming out of USC because I can name a bunch of failures.
The reason why there's no prominent guys coming out of USC the last 10 years is because they haven't had a Lincoln Riley type of coach. Lincoln Riley is going to galvanize the troops. He's going to call the plays, and they're going to win.
Say it. I dare you. Lincoln Riley does what to USC now? What are they now?
They go from Trojans to Magnums.
So they're national. Like, can they win a national?
I'm sorry, Craig Campbell. I had to say it.
Do they need to win a national championship?
They're going to win a national championship.
They will.
So once his recruiting class gets there, I believe. All right. So you figure out what we're betting on this, and I'll tell you by 2025, Lincoln Riley will be the national champ. He will hoist that trophy, and he will also have a Heisman Trophy candidate or a winner.
Having a Heisman Trophy candidate, yes, he's a quarterback guru. I get it. Yes, I'm not taking that away from him. But he's also been a head coach of some of the worst defenses you've ever seen put on the field by good teams. He's got his doors blown off when he competes outside of the Big 12. He's gotten the doors blown off of him. They live off of that.
Defensive plays or offensive plays?
He's a head coach. He's not a coordinator. He's a head coach, which therefore means either you call the plays or you put the right coach in the position to make the plays call. He's a head coach. That's all his responsibility. Recruiting, offense and defense falls on him. Yes, he could be a quarterback whisperer. Yes, he is. I get that because I've said, but he's also, what do you think is going to happen in USC? He's going to be able to keep those California quarterbacks. I say that. He's going to have the same situation that Ohio State has right now. You got 4 5-star quarterbacks that could start anywhere else, but they're all piled up on Ohio State because one of them wants to win the job and play for Ryan Day and go on to be a first-round pick. Lincoln Riley's going to get that exact with Spencer and Caleb Williams. Then he's got the number 1 quarterback in 2023 recruiting class committed to him. He's probably going to decommit. He already decommitted. He's going to go to USC. So he has those problems, but it results in what is my only question is like, we want USC to be great again, but like the first step is winning the Pac-12.
They just became.
They have to do that first.
They just became great again because they've been on this head coaching search for so long, and they finally got a guy that knows what he's doing.
So if he doesn't win a national championship, then is it a failure for him? Like, is it national championship or bust? Because like you said,
it's not national championship or bust because he'll eventually get one. But
no, it's got to be like you have a time limit. I'm with you. USC is a prominent program historically, traditionally. Like it is one of the 5 most. It's Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, USC. Like when you talk, but so now that there's a huge splash and a great coach, He has to win a national championship because you said you haven't had a great coach since Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll did what? Won national championship. Had a Heisman, win all this.
Recruited Reggie Bush, Carson Wentz, Matt Leinart.
If he doesn't win a national championship, it's a failure. And no, he does not get 10 years to win a national championship. Like, it takes him.
I think he does because it's been 10 years since they found a coach like Lincoln Riley. I think he'll win one in the within 5 years, but I think that if he doesn't win one within 10 years and he's competitive and he gets them to
he won't.
That's Mo Murphy, and I am Barry Long the second, not the first, not the third. This is Go Long Live, and we spent way too much time talking about that man right there, Lincoln Riley.
That is the news of the day today. That is though.
It's the news of the day. But let's get to it. Let's get to the NFL because we everybody wants to hear about their teams. And before we get to the NFL, I just want to show you my cousin. That's my cousin Tavon and my cousin Juan. They were at the Ravens game yesterday against the Browns. But Tavon's on the left, and Juan is the Broncos fan that wears a Broncos jersey to a non-Broncos game. How do you feel about fans wearing game jerseys to a game that is irrelevant?
What are they supposed to do?
Look, if I go to a Packers Rams game, I'm not going to wear my Ravens jersey. I wear something like this, something neutral.
But if you're going to wear a jersey, so what? You're a fan of that team.
When the Ravens season is over, the Ravens gear goes back into the closet until they come back out. I might throw a hat on, but I'm not throwing on the Flacco or the Lamar Jackson jersey. I'm not the Todd Heap. I'm not throwing on jerseys if we're not playing that day.
But that's not like, so you might be a Broncos fan, but live somewhere else, right? So like, hey, I'm at this game because I'm out here, I'm in Baltimore, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna rep my Broncos. Like, it's people that's gonna do that. I don't got a problem with it. Like, to me, I can't even guarantee you that I'd go to a Cowboys game and wear a Cowboys jersey.
What?
Like, I can't out, bro. Like, I can't guarantee that I'd go in a Cowboys jersey.
Well, you are fresh. You got your own swag style.
Yeah, there'll be a possibility of me just like wearing an outfit, but like Ravens Browns.
But how dare you go to Jerry World and not wear a Cowboys jersey? That's
just like the 10,000 other people that ain't gonna.
That's like Cowboys. You not eating turkey on Thanksgiving, Mo Murphy. It makes no sense.
Leave the turkey alone till Thanksgiving next year.
and look, everybody's leaving turkey alone till Thanksgiving next year. Nobody wants turkey. Does not go over steak. Turkey does not go over chicken. Turkey does not go over pork. Turkey doesn't go over chorizo. Nothing. Turkey is like once a year. Like, I don't like turkey bacon, but when I deep fry turkey on Thanksgiving, everybody wants some. All right, we are Go Long Live. I am Barry Long II. He is Mo Murphy. And the show, we started off a little late today. We had some technical issues going on, but we're going to jump right into the NFL. We saw the Ravens defeat the Browns 16-10 yesterday. And yes, they're my Ravens. And we look bad. Lamar Jackson looked absolutely horrible. But what he was able to do was he was able to win a game. 4 picks and 1 touchdown. He only threw for 165 yards. But he made the plays when they counted. And if a quarterback can win a game after throwing 4 interceptions, not only does that tell me that his defense steps up when they need to step up and they have his back, but it also tells me that he makes plays and he's able to compartmentalize his mistakes and make plays when the game's on the line. What do you say?
I'm glad that's a positive outlook, bro. Lamar's a player.
What's not positive about a win when you throw 4 interceptions?
Because I get it. You said that he didn't make plays. Bro, he got lucky.
The 2 throws to Mark Andrews down the stretch, the long pass and then the touchdown pass. He scrambled incredibly and he was able to extend the play. That one throw was
BS, bro. Like, it happened. That one throw, bro, he threw that up to Mark Andrews, bro. That was some BS, bro.
If it happens in week 13, Mo Murphy, if it happens in week 13, it's okay. We can say it's BS, but it's going to happen in the playoff game, in the divisional round or the wild card round or whatever we're in. And then that's going to be the reason why we advance in the playoffs. It's plays like that determine the outcome of the season. And let's say the Ravens lose to the Browns yesterday. Then the Ravens are not the top team in the AFC today. But today, as it stands, the Ravens are the number 1 team in the AFC, and it's because of that one or those 2 throws after making 4 mistakes that a quarterback, and we see quarterbacks, and Lamar Jackson has not had confidence in his throwing ability. We saw what he does with the tight ends. He's the number 1 quarterback that throws to the tight ends. He's great inside the numbers, but when you challenge him to throw outside the numbers, he's been terrible. But the thing about him is that when he makes a mistake, he always owns up to it. But the fact that he was able to make the plays to win the game shows me that he can win. He can get to the Super Bowl when the game's on the line. Are you done with Baker after watching Baker yesterday? Are you done with him? I know you're already done with him, but
yes, I'm done with him. Yeah, I'm done with him. Like there's nothing else.
All the injuries he has.
Hey, my bad. Keep the show going, bro. I locked the fam out. Give me a second.
He locked his family out. Shout out to Mo Murphy for having the family and admitting that we are going on live. I am very low in a second. Let's get to the next game. All right, so let's stay in the division. The Bengals and the Steelers. Oh, my goodness. The Bengals put up 41 points on the Steelers defense. We thought the Steelers defense was going to be great. They've been great in the past. They got TJ Watt. They got a lot of pieces there. And we know what the offense can do for the Steelers. We know the weapons that they have, but we also know that Ben Roethlisberger has been facing a lot of criticism the last few years because of his inability to throw down the field. And just he's getting old. And certain quarterbacks, when it's time to go. And it was Ben's time to go like 2 years ago. And we don't know who his replacement is going to be, but y'all could throw me out there over Ben Roethlisberger, and it will look better than it did yesterday. 41-10. Big Ben threw for 263. He had a touchdown, but 2 interceptions. But it just looked so stagnant. It just looked so immature, elementary. And we seen the Bengals put 41 up on my Ravens, 41-17. But yesterday looked like a bigger beatdown. And I'm excited for the Bengals fans. Shout out to Burke. Because the Bengals fans have a real running back in Joe Mixon, 28 carries for 165 yards. He's been doing this stuff all season long. And Joe Mixon is the difference in that offense to me. Joe Burrow will make plays when he has to. Jamar Chase is gonna catch balls when he has to. But Joe Mixon is the straw that stirs the drink. What do you think?
I think it's the offensive line because they had Joe Mixon last year. They had Joe Burrow for the beginning of the season.
They got him killed. They got him killed, though.
Exactly. And so now you weren't seeing none of this. Like, you knew Joe Mixon was a good running back last year, but you weren't seeing none of that because the holes weren't open. The space wasn't there. I'm not taking credit from Joe Mixon. He's playing amazing. But a running back, to me, is really, for the most part, only as good as his offensive line. The offensive line was horrible last year.
Except Barry Sanders, but go ahead.
And he's the one exception. But like, we're also talking about the most elusive running back of all time. So, but like with Joe
Mixon,
his
name was Barry.
Yeah, trash. But anyway, Joe Mixon, though, he's a good running back, right? So, but with the offensive line improving, you're seeing Joe Burrow's not back there getting murdered. The offense is rolling all together. T. Higgins is having a really good year. We saw Jamar Chase with the hot start, looking like an offensive rookie of the year candidate. Boyd is having a good year. They got a decent tight end. And yes, they have Joe Mixon, but it goes, I got to give the credit to the offensive line for the simple fact, like, they had essentially the same roster last year. And Joe Mixon wasn't as effective on the ground and we knew he was good, but he had no blocking. And Joe Burrow got murdered. And right now, both of them are standing upright and on the Ravens' heels in that AFC North. They're in the playoffs right now. If the season,
Watch him out.
I'm just saying they're on the Ravens' heels. Like, I ain't saying they catch them, but they're upright, they're healthy, and they have a shot. So you look at that and you think like it's all on the offensive line because we saw how much prior to Joe Burrow getting hurt, we saw how much he was getting killed. It just was a matter of time before he got hurt. We saw how much Joe Mixon was getting stuffed at the line of scrimmage. So now that you're seeing that, it's got to be the offensive line because those same ingredients are there. Yeah, 1 year in, 1 year better. But at the same time, it's the improvement. The slight improvement is a bit different.
And the offensive line is so important and so integral to the success of any NFL offense. And that's a great point. But Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon, you could put any running back behind a great offensive line. They won't be great. They might be decent. But Joe Mixon is the truth. And he was the truth in college. He just had some off the field issues, some serious off the field issues, some domestic issues that people don't really want to highlight anymore. And to their credit, and people make mistakes and they bounce back. But Joe Mixon is I think it's time to say that he is one of the elite running backs in the game. And if you don't agree with me, then I don't agree with you. But we only have. Yeah. He's one of the tops. All right, we only have a few minutes left, and we will get over to the rest of the games tomorrow. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about this Bucks Colts game, and then we'll get to the Rams Packers game. So the Bucks and the Colts, that was a pretty good game. It was tight down to the end. Carson Wentz made a mistake that really Carson Wentz turned into Carson Wentz, and then and gave them the ball, gave the Bucks a short field, and then of course the Bucks do what they do. They win and they pull out a close game. But my takeaway from this game was that the Colts, for them to be able to hang with the Buccaneers as long as they did and as tough as they did, and without your boy Jonathan Taylor going off the way he's been going off every single week. He didn't get going until like the late third, maybe early fourth quarter. But I feel like the Colts are serious. And in that division with the Titans struggling, I feel like the Colts they proved to me that they can hang in the AFC and they can hang with the top contenders in the NFL. What did you take away from that game?
Oh, have the standards have lowered in the league. We are talking about a 6-6 team being ultimate competitors. Oh God.
I mean, the AFC is trash this year.
They're 6-6. I'm sorry. They still ain't, like, the Titans are faltering because of injuries, but they're going to be back healthy towards the end of the season. The Chiefs are on their way up, coming off a bye week, so we'll see. You will see what the Chiefs make, if they continue to build off their victory.
The Ravens.
Yeah. Like, they're a good bad team, but like, why do you say
that?
Because look at where they really should be and where they are. Like, a lucky play, they don't lose to the Lions. Like, let's just be honest here. They should have lost to the Lions. They should have lost to the Colts. Lamar Jackson, being the elusive, great football player that he is, brought them in that game. And that was more of a choke job from the Colts. But no, I can't about that. They should have lost to the Lions. They should have lost to the Colts. And of course, but then they got, they look terrible against Miami. They look terrible against Cleveland. They just were fortunate enough that the quarterback on the other side was just as bad. So, bro, they're as, what are y'all?
8-3 is 8-3.
No, it's not. 8-3 is not 8-3. No, it's not. Because you easily could be 5-6 right now.
Yeah, real talk. You're talking to a guy who rooted for Joe Flacco for so many years. He took us to the 1 yard line and fumbled every single freaking time. He's never had a run the way he had in that postseason. It was 11 touchdowns, no interceptions. He played into a $20 million a year contract when that was the standard. That was like the highest of standards for a quarterback to make. Now we're at $40 million. But Joe Flacco winning the Super Bowl was on some lucky plays. The play in Denver, 4th and 29. Hey, diddle, Ray Rice up the middle.
He was also on the defense.
If Ray Rice doesn't make that 4th and 29 conversion, we might not get into the playoffs. When you get to the Super Bowl, the Giants, the Tyree, what's his name? David Tyree. I almost forgot his name because that's how irrelevant he was all season long and all career long. But it was a lucky play that got the Giants the Super Bowl. So lucky plays, in my opinion, are the difference between Super Bowl champions and Super Bowl losers.
But you know what those lucky plays are against? Playoff teams. Lucky plays aren't against the Detroit Lions, the Miami Dolphins, and the faltering Cleveland Browns. In the
good point. But hey,
that's why I say that.
Play is a lucky play.
They're gonna no. There's levels, like I said, but they're gonna Could the Ravens go to the Super Bowl? I'm not gonna say no because they up to this point they have the best record in the AFC, so I'm not gonna say no. But you're not gonna play. You probably not even gonna play Cleveland. Cleveland probably ain't going to the playoffs. You're not gonna play Detroit. You may not play Indy. But you go down the way you go down, like unless you got Patrick Mahomes on the other side, you're not coming back in the playoffs. They're and even go to your point of the Bucks and Colts game, bro. That game was on Frank Reich. It wasn't on Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz played great in the first half. He took advantage.
Phenomenal in the first half for Carson Wentz.
He played amazing, bro. Like, and he did what I've said every team has done against the Bucks. We now know. If you don't know now, you don't know football. We know what the Bucks' weakest position on the field is. Their secondary. Attack it. Do not run the ball because you're not going to run the ball. But to take you kept handing Jonathan Taylor the ball to keep that defense honest. Starting in the third quarter, for him not to touch the ball until from halftime all the way to midway through the fourth quarter, that's a bad job because now you put the game completely in Carson Wentz's hands and you didn't make their defense stay honest to the run game. Yeah, they're going to stop the run game. That's fine, but they got to stay honest because you do have a guy like Jonathan Taylor. If you don't stay honest and you decide that one time that, all they're going to do is pass, think about it. Once they started passing consistently, every drive the Bucs came back, but what did they start doing? They started playing the pass because the Colts ran away from the run, and then what happened? Jonathan Taylor had a huge
run opened up.
You keep this game. You know that one run. All it takes for a guy like Jonathan Taylor is that one run that gets him going, and then he doesn't slow down from there. And that's what it took so late in the game. But because you took it out of the success of your offense up to this point and put it solely in Carson Wentz's hands, and I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying, as an offensive coach, as an offensive coordinator, you took it out of the winning ways and put it up to chance with a quarterback that you know he's bound to make a mistake eventually if something goes wrong. And that's exactly what he did. So I don't blame him. He did have Tom Brady, and you give Tom Brady enough momentum, look what happens. So yeah, the Colts could have won that game. They should have won that game.
Yeah, you get all Tom Brady needs is a crease. All he needs is a crease.
And that's all he got. Yeah, exactly.
And we got one more game to cover before we get out of here, but we want to shout out Sage Alvarez, our main man, and Craig Campbell for the platform. And these guys are just killing it behind the scenes. We love them for what they're doing, and we love them for the opportunity. The Rams and the Packers was the game of the week. Everybody was so excited to watch this game because we were potentially looking at a NFC Championship game, and it was an up and down game, and I was not impressed with Matt Stafford, even though he threw for 302 yards and he had 3 touchdowns and 1 pick. Odell Beckham got his first touchdown in over a year. I was ecstatic for my man because you just know what it's like to go through a long struggle and then finally break through. And it was a great play. It was a great catch. He looked good in the number 3 and in the Rams the colors. But I was excited for him. But ultimately, what I took away from this game is Aaron Rodgers is the MF truth. And when we look at what it boils down to, he's gonna make plays. And the Packers, no matter what they go through, coaching wise, COVID wise, Aaron Rodgers wise, front office wise, the Packers always seem to be that cream that rises to the top. And the Rams, they're the flashy team. They're the LA team. But right now they're looking more like the Lakers with all these superstars, and they can't win games consistently. So what I took away from this game was, the Rams hung with the Packers, but the Packers are the truth, and we should be looking at them as the cream of the crop in the NFC. What did you take away from the game, Mo Murphy?
I mean, essentially the same thing. Like, you kind of said it all. Like, if you weren't a buyer in the Packers now, then you should be, today. Beat everybody they've needed to. I mean, they beat the Cardinals shorthanded, and the Cardinals were healthy and as healthy as possible.
On a lucky play
in the regular season, but it wasn't really a lucky play or a mistake. Like,
AJ Green didn't turn around. That's luck for the Packers, and it's a mistake for the Cardinals.
That's not a lucky play. It's a mistake. Like, another team made a mistake. There's a difference between making a mistake and luck. But either way, I digress. The Packers are a great team. Again, like, they're typically, when are they not? When Aaron Rodgers is healthy, they're a great team. They're always competing for a Super Bowl. They always have a shot. You're never off your rocker by saying, hey, the Packers are my favorite to reach the Super Bowl. In the Rams, 3 in a row. Coming off a bye week, I thought they was going to look a lot stronger. And I hate to say this because then it kind of goes against.
Don't say it.
No, I'm not. Well, I don't know what you think, how crazy you think I'm going to say. But I'm saying I hate to say this because it's going to go against how I felt preseason because I love the Matt Stafford. But is there really statistics wise and flashy wise? Yeah, you upgraded at quarterback, but record wise, wins wise, losses wise, you didn't. You the quarterback in those games.
And I get your point, but I also think that's unfair to Matt Stafford because he was with the Detroit Lions. And when you look at his career record, he did have Calvin Johnson, but
you thought he was going to turn it around in LA. You thought he was going to be able to beat good teams. Like, you thought you giving him the benefit of the doubt because he was in Detroit. We all were like, Stafford's a great quarterback. He's very talented, but he was in Detroit. So I'm not killing him for what he's doing in Detroit. But you thought if he went to a winning coach, a winning team, a winning culture with great players or really good players, great different players, good off piece, that he would turn it around and the narrative would be different. Matt Stafford still ain't beating winning teams. The Rams are beating up on the team supposed to based on their, but they lost to the Packers. They lost to the Titans. Like, they're on a 3-game losing streak, and I'm not saying press the panic button, but all I'm saying is, like, Matt Stafford still goes to LA, a really good team who had the same record through 11 games last year with Jared Goff. I'm just saying, we could say the offense didn't look as potent. Cooper Kupp didn't look like the superstar that he is. That's fine, but guess what? It still results in the same amount of wins, the same amount of losses. Do you really care that?
There were plays in that game where Matt Stafford made great throws, like the one that with Van Jefferson, the ball hits off his helmet. There's plays that you can't just blame on Matt Stafford. But
I'm not blaming Stafford, but you got to be able to get, like, it always comes to it. I'm going in and out. My bad. It always comes to the quarterback, though. You give
but the defense gave up 36 points, and this was the best defense in the NFL last year. So let's not let the defense off the hook too. Mo Murphy is experiencing technical difficulties. We are Gold On Live. I am Barry Long II. He is Mo Murphy. If he comes back, I'm going to bring him back in. But, yeah, let's not let the defense off the hook. The defense gave up 36 points. And we saw plays where Jalen Ramsey got burned. He got juked out by Aaron Rodgers. There were certain plays where the defense didn't look like the defense of last year. And the Rams were the number one defense last year with Brandon Staley as the defensive coordinator. And when he left to go be the head coach of the Chargers, we saw them decline a little bit, and they've just gradually declined. And I don't think that you could put all the losses on the Rams on Matt Stafford or Sean McVay. And what I think we need to take away from this game, the biggest point we need to take away from this game is that Matt LaFleur is the truth as a head coach. And yeah, he got like a little bad reputation or bad like start because everybody's like, oh, he's only getting hired because the NFL, that's what's in right now. That's the trend. We want to hire the young, attractive, 35-year-old head coach that knows Sean McVay. But my man, Matt LaFleur, is 38-11 as the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. And yeah, he's got Aaron freaking Rodgers. And the offense looked depleted when they didn't have Aaron Rodgers. But ultimately, he's calling the plays. He lost them that NFC game last year in the playoffs, and to his credit, he will admit that. But ultimately, this man is a leader of men, and he's calling plays, and he's doing a damn good job. And Matt LaFleur, 38-11, I think that he has a long future as the coach. And we know the Packers, they don't hire coaches for a short term; they hire for longevity. And we'll see what he ends up being when Aaron Rodgers is not his quarterback, but I think he's a good coach, and he definitely deserves to be in that role. All right, so we got to go. We're all out of time. We will cover all the rest of the NFL games tomorrow, and all week we'll be talking about all NFL. We got a lot of stuff. It seems like every day news is dropping, and of course tonight we got the Seahawks versus Washington. I think it's going to be a cluster. You know what? Because both teams are just struggling. Both teams are limping into this game. And I think I'm picking the Washington football team, not because I'm from Virginia and because everybody that I know is a Washington Redskins team, Redskins fans. Shout out to Craig Campbell. Shout out to Miss Maddie and Mr. Call. But I'm picking them because I feel like Taylor Heineke is hearing all the noise, and it's going to be a good game for him. And that defense, the Seahawks defense has been struggling. And Russell is not Russell. That's not Russell. He's hustling, y'all. Russell Westbrook needs to be Russell Wilson needs to be on the bench. And I feel like Geno Smith, the last two games we watched, I feel like Geno Smith is a better option right now because the middle finger is the longest finger, and you need that to throw the ball. So Russell's not looking like Russell. He's hustling, y'all. That's Hustle Wilson. But I feel like tonight is going to be the Washington football team, their victory, and I'm excited to watch the game. For the casual fan, it might not be the most exciting, but it will definitely be a close game. And shout out to my best friend, Sean Carl McNeil. That's my guy. He grew up seven houses down from me, and he is the founder of Your Boxing Fix. We're going to get him on the show this week because we got a big matchup. Tank Davis. That's all I need to say. I don't even need to say his opponent because he's from Baltimore, and you know how we get down out there. We love Javonte Davis. All right, for Mo Murphy, I am Barry Long II. Make sure y'all go out and just and be productive today. And stay focused, stay motivated, stay inspired, and remember that you're capable of doing anything. So go out and do it. And we will talk more tomorrow, every single Monday through Friday, noon 30. Sorry we got off to a late start today. We had some technical issues going on. But yeah, man, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.